Yeah, it should be. We already called it out. We actually flipped the coin between Devin Haney and Shakur. We don't really care. Everybody was getting on Tank about he never asked for the big fights. If you look at Tank, Tank sit there and said the time is now.
Who you think is the harder fight between Shakur and Devin for Tank?
None of them.
You just same whatever?
None of them. I wouldn't say hard. Shakur, he's the better boxer.
Yeah.
That's why I always make this, he would make the fight boring just to win.
Right. Yeah, I think you would too.
Dude, I want to put Youngin in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't make sense. Because fans come to see what? A fight. Let's go look at Shakur's last fight.
Yeah.
Everything was just 100. It was 100.
I don't need nobody. So if he feels as though I need him and if it's that kind of stuff, then it's like, whatever. I'm not in need of that fight.
Gervonta Davis is a huge fight for Shakur Stevenson, and for people to act like the biggest fight in boxing is with somebody like Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia is absolutely ridiculous.
Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people, Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. You cannot say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would have.
Tank Davis's trainer, Calvin Ford, makes it clear that Gervonta Davis's next fight should be against Shakur Stevenson. Ford insists Tank has already called for the matchup and questions whether Stevenson will accept the terms or price himself out of it.
Yeah, it should be. We already called it out. We actually flipped the coin between Devin Haney and Shakur. We don't really care. Everybody was getting on Tank about he never asked for the big fights. If you look at Tank, Tank sit there and said the time is now. You know what I'm saying? Them guys is the only guys that are they really willing to take that fight? Are they gonna outprice themselves? Or they're gonna take the fight? I'm old school. If I really think I'm gonna beat somebody, take the money and run with it. Let's fight. If you notice when we fought for Floyd now, we took every fight they threw at us. You know what I'm saying? We did what they asked. That's what that's what you do. I train my guys and I tell my guys, you train, you fight, you get paid. We take care of the rest of everything else. You know what I'm saying? Look where it put us at, you know? We at the top of our game right now.
Calvin Ford also praised Shakur Stevenson as a highly skilled boxer he has known since his younger days, but questioned whether Stevenson has truly faced a real test yet. Ford believed a fight with Gervonta Davis would be the toughest challenge of Shakur's career, while insisting the matchup would not be the hardest test for Davis and would reveal the difference in levels between them.
I ain't gonna lie, Coach. One of them got to be Shakur, because that's the one that's a 50-50 fight. I feel like that's the only one that's like, y'all, those are two guard-level fighters.
Let me explain something. Shakur is a master boxer.
Yes.
True indeed. I know the kid, he was raised up with us, but he's a kid to us. You understand what I'm saying? But he's gonna get his just due.
Yeah.
He just have to focus on his just due. And again, have you seen Shakur really been tested yet?
No.
His man, Charles Crawford said, his biggest, hardest fight is who?
It's gonna be Tank. I think so too. I told him that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do I think Shakur is gonna be Tank's hardest fight? No.
It's funny, they both say, when I say that to both, when I said that to Tank and the thing, he said, hell no. I say, what you, and I said that to Shakur, I said, Tank, he said, no, hell no.
Both of them
they
should
both
feel that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But when it really happened, we're gonna really see it.
Yeah.
It's just like when they talk about Devin's situation.
Right.
You know, it's levels.
On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson is frustrated with the constant fight rumors, taking a direct shot at Gervonta Davis in a recent interview and stating he doesn't need him.
Do you ever think we'll see you and Tank, realistically?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that he move is goofy to me. Like it's some weird shit. Like I really don't like speaking on him, but like if same thing that
fighting perspective.
Same thing that I said with T.O. If anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got.
Yeah.
I stand by that with anybody.
Shakur Stevenson added that he might agree to fight with Gervonta Davis, but stressed that it only happens if Davis is willing to make it. He said that Davis would need to take the matchup seriously. At the same time, Stevenson made it clear that if someone refuses to fight him, there's no reason to wait. He'll just keep moving forward with his career.
But keeping it boxing.
That's boxing.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not boxing?
Yeah, no, I love it. No, you got to do what you got to do.
Right, like.
I just want to see. I want to know. I'm just asking realistically. will we ever see y'all two in the ring? However way it get there, will we ever see that match?
I would love it.
Tank got to stand on straight and narrow too, man.
I would love it.
My son gotta, you know what I mean? He gotta get on path.
I would love it, but at the end of the day, once again, if somebody says they never gonna fight me,
then you can't rely. Yeah, you gotta move on.
I don't need you, bro.
You gotta move on.
Simple.
With talk of Shakur Stevenson potentially agreeing to the fight, attention quickly shifts to the return of Gervonta Davis. Rumors about Tank's comeback continue to grow, and Calvin Ford confirms that Davis is quietly preparing for his next move. Ford explains that plans for a major return are already being arranged behind the scenes. Calvin also notes that the time away allows Tank to reset after spending most of his life in boxing since childhood, and now Davis looks refreshed, motivated, and ready to come back with the right opponent for a big performance.
He ain't gone nowhere. Tank is still here. And I guarantee you something gonna happen. Everybody missed Tank fight. You know, when he come back, it gotta be the right fight because we wanna entertain. Things happen for a reason to make a person much stronger. One of the guys that y'all truly love is not in the mix right now, but he will be back in the mix. Y'all gotta remember Tank been doing this shit since he was 7 years old. Sometimes you need that reset. Him being away, you know, going through things that he's been going through, this crazy stuff, you know, he looks happy. He looks happy. I can't wait.
As talk about a possible opponent continued to build, Calvin Ford chose not to reveal too much. He admitted that he already had a particular name in mind for Gervonta Davis's return, but kept it to himself. Ford hinted that the matchup was likely already being worked on behind the scenes, and suggested the plans were unfolding quietly, even if fans hadn't noticed yet. He also made it clear that the comeback would be a smart, controlled move, rather than a risky one, aimed at bringing Tank back the right way while slowly building excitement for the fight.
Who in your eyes would be the opponent you would want to see him in the ring with?
I can't tell nobody that yet. You know what I'm saying? I already know who I would like for him to see just for a comeback. The person that I want to see him in the ring, that's the one we're going to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can't say that. I think it's an easy fight. You know, everybody in tune with it. You know, it's being promoted. Right under y'all nose is being promoted. Y'all don't even see it.
Fanon, boxing analyst, stated that a matchup with Gervonta Davis would have been huge for Shakur Stevenson. He pointed to Tank's record, noting that several fighters Davis has beaten later went on to win world titles. He even used Ryan Garcia as an example, explaining that Garcia is still discussed as a possible opponent for Stevenson, despite having already lost to Davis. For Fanon, that history shows that Tank continues to be the biggest draw in the division.
Gervonta Davis is a huge fight for Shakur Stevenson, and for people to act like the biggest fight in boxing is with somebody like Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia is absolutely ridiculous. Now, why do we know that Gervonta Davis is such a big fight? Because Gervonta Davis has now beaten, I do believe, 5 or 6, I think it's 6 people that he beat went on to win world championships, including Ryan Garcia, who people are saying Shakur Stevenson should fight next.
On a podcast with Joe Rogan, Shakur Stevenson also admitted that he'd welcome a fight with Gervonta Davis, calling it one of the biggest lightweight matchups. But he admitted he felt disrespected after Davis suggested on social media that Stevenson needed the fight. Stevenson rejected that notion, emphasizing that he's already successful and doesn't rely on any single opponent to advance his career.
Because the fight that I would think that would generate the most amount of interest at 135 would be Tank. Now, I know Tank's got some legal issues now, and I don't know what his status is currently. But when in terms of big names, Tank is the big name at 35.
Yeah, I would love for it to happen, but the way that he went on like social media and kind of like bashed me in a way to where it's like he made it seem like I need him, and I just feel disrespected about it, because at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I make my own money. I'm living a spectacular life. I don't need nobody. So if he feels as though I need him, and if it's that kind of stuff, then it's like whatever. I'm not in need of that fight.
Greg Hockett also feels that Gervonta Davis should face Shakur Stevenson to preserve the integrity of boxing. He points out that their different styles make the fight a must-see for fans and the sport itself. Hockett describes it as odd, even corny, that Davis is avoiding Stevenson, though he recognizes there may be personal reasons behind it. Regardless, he stresses that he's eager to see the matchup happen.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. Like, you know what I mean, you at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean, you owe the rematch to Lamont for the game, but you owe Shakur for the game just because of the two style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you no favors, and all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally, you know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that fight.
On the other side, Fannin strongly defended Gervonta Davis's standing in boxing, calling him a special talent and firmly placing him among the sport's pound-for-pound elite. He argued that there has been a steady attempt to downplay Davis's reputation, particularly because of his promotional situation, with certain influential voices quick to amplify every negative headline. In Fannin's view, Davis isn't just facing criticism, he's being deliberately targeted by some who would prefer to see him pushed out of the spotlight.
This kid is an exceptional fighter. He's one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And there has been a campaign to run this guy's name down because he's with the PBC, or he's not with Matchroom, or he's not with DAZN, or he's not with Ring. So these people who are the loudest talkers in all of boxing all conspire to, or collude, I should say, collude, not conspire, collude to interpret every negative thing that happens about Gervonta in a way to eliminate him and want him out of boxing.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis's coach, Kenny Ellis, sparked controversy while talking about a possible fight with Shakur Stevenson. Ellis suggested that Stevenson was being protected from the matchup, claiming he was under the influence of Turki Al-Sheikh. He said the situation made it seem like Stevenson was in protective custody, keeping the fight from taking place.
Okay, so if he's successful tonight, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, they're the champions now at 135 pounds. How do you see those fights playing out? Can we make those fights happen with Tank?
Well, they Turkey protected. If they can work out something, then, you know, anything's possible. But right now, they went and got protective custody, so we don't know what the future holds.
But Shakur was calling out Tank last week when he fought, and he said he wants to make the fight happen. But he knows he's the B side.
He's Turkey protected, though.
He doesn't have the A side. He admits that Tank is the guy.
And they're not going to let it, so he going to talk that was he know Turkey ain't going to let him do it.
How does that fight play out if they ever do mix it up?
KO.
Same thing, early or later? Or
early. KO.
Early.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. also shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, calling it a genuine 50-50 matchup. He defended Stevenson's style, saying it consistently produces wins, and added that avoiding damage is just smart boxing. No fighter, including himself, likes taking unnecessary hits.
I think Shakur is the fight that needs to happen for 135.
That's probably the biggest fight you can make 135 too.
Yeah. Who would you have winning that one?
That's a hard one, man. You know, Shakur, he's very technical. He's very defensive. And you know what? People shit on his defense, man, but why are you going to stand there and get hit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in reality, no one likes to get hit. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if you can take it or not. The point of boxing is to hit and not get hit, you know?
Yeah.
Gervonta, he's obviously, he's Gervonta. I don't really have to explain why I think he's good. You know, it's just both styles. I would like to see who's the winner of it. You know?
Yeah.
Breaking down the matchup, Teddy Atlas views Gervonta Tank Davis as the only fighter capable of breaking through Shakur Stevenson's defense. He points to Stevenson's speed, movement, precision, and control of distance as what makes him so difficult to hit. Atlas believes Davis has the skill and ability to outthink Stevenson and come out on top.
Because Shakur Stevenson is that difficult because of his style, because of his abilities, because of his eyes, because of his, his legs, that his hand speed, the way that he controls range. Tank Davis is the only guy that I can see that could possibly decipher that style and beat Shakur Stevenson.
Furthermore, David Benavidez named Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson as the fight he's most eager to see, noting its huge appeal in boxing. He explained that if the bout happens, it would become one of the most anticipated and widely discussed fights, capturing the attention of both fans and analysts.
This weekend, I would love to see Shakur and Gervonta. You know, I think Gervonta and anybody in that, any of the top guys at that weight class is a great fight. Gervonta, Shakur, Gervonta, Tio, Gervonta, Keyshawn. I mean, that 135 to 140 pound weight class is hot right now, you know what I mean? But that would be a great fight. I think probably that would be one of the fights that would be the most anticipated, you know, if they can make happen. Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. By no means it would be easy for either fighter. You know, we just seen that Shakur Stevens was able to shut a great fighter like Teofimo down and made him look silly. So that would be a great fight, you know. And a big shout out to Shakur Stevens becoming a 4-time division champion. You know, he's on legendary status. He's on his way to be a Hall of Famer too, and he's still very young.
Josh Podley also describes Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis as a must-see fight. He says the matchup will come down to whether Davis can connect with his power punches and if Stevenson can use his skill and precision to avoid them. Podley highlights Stevenson's success across multiple divisions and notes that Davis will need to carefully plan his combinations, especially since both fighters are southpaws. He stresses it's a highly anticipated fight that should happen soon.
It's always going to be that split. If Tank can land the power on him, then obviously it's how Shakur then deals with that power. But you can see how good Shakur's boxing ability is, and obviously he's proven it time and time again, 3-weight world champion. If he's on point and stays boxing, he might be able to get through the fight and obviously become victorious. It's a fight that needs to happen, in my opinion. The two most talked about fighters in lightweight division, so I hope it happens.
How would you advise Tank to land that big shot on Shakur? From what you learned?
Come in with bunches of punches, obviously, and set things up beforehand. And like I say, it's a bit of a different situation because the two southpaws fighting each other. But I'm sure Tank could be able to figure it out, and like I say, it's an intriguing matchup that I believe that needs to happen very soon.
Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. believes Shakur Stevenson's calmness and focus give him an edge over Gervonta Davis. He points out that Stevenson stays disciplined during critical moments, while Davis can sometimes lose consistency or be influenced by outside factors. Still, Jones emphasizes that when Davis is fully focused and motivated, his skill and unique abilities make him a dangerous opponent for anyone.
I think we did. I think Shakur definitely showed that he's going to be on that list very soon. Four division champion already. Still looking to get more. Show that he has all the tools, all the tactics. Stay cool under pressure. Proved a lot of things. Took a good fighter and took him to school. And that's what great fighters do. So it's like, you got to give him his props. Excellent outcome. Headshots out to Teofimo too for taking a fight at that risk at that time in his career, because that was a high risk for Teofimo.
On the contrary, Mike Tyson points to Gervonta Davis's aggression and power as major factors in a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson. While recognizing Stevenson's skill and technical precision, Tyson believes Davis's strength and intensity could push him to perform at his absolute best.
Mike, who will win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
I like to go with Tank. You know, everyone's going to go with Tank, you know. It would be a very interesting fight. Shakur takes a good shot, though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. He is boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat. To bring out the best in Shakur, you got to pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
Coach Mustafa, who recently spent time working with Gervonta Davis in training, gave strong praise for Shakur Stevenson. Mustafa believed that when Stevenson competes against opponents his own weight, his elite skills and technical ability give him the tools to beat anyone in boxing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Shakur beats him easy.
Yeah.
Shakur's good, man. You know what I'm saying? I know the black backlash and everybody talk about all that, he don't punch, his attitude, whatever, but if in the ring performances, it don't get much better than Shakur Stevenson. I don't care what they say. He can fight, man. He can fight really, 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 really good. It's just people are so enamored now with knockouts that they overlook ability. They call Bernard born. They call Ward born for years. They call Floyd born. So Floyd had to become almost like animated outside the ring and put this flamboyant mantra up because he was to them born in the ring. But Shakur is A1. Shakur is, in my opinion, if anybody in the world fought on the same size, I can't put nobody above him.
However, Canelo Alvarez expects a tight matchup between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. He notes Stevenson's speed and evasive skills make him tough to beat, while praising Davis for his power and relentless pressure. In the end, Canelo leans towards Davis as the likely winner.
Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. He moves a lot, and it's very difficult to get hit. To hit him, but I like Gervonta Davis.
Okay.
He's a really good fighter. He hits hard, and he knows how to go forward. So I put my money on Gervonta.
Adding to the discussion, Clarissa Shields considers Shakur Stevenson the best fighter in his division, placing him above Gervonta Davis and other top names. She points to Stevenson's technical ability, steady performance, and control in fights across different weight classes. While she recognizes Davis's power and explosiveness, Shields believes Stevenson consistently takes on tougher opponents and displays a more complete mastery in the ring.
Shakur is the best. To me, he's better than Tank, he's better than Devin, he's better than Ryan, he's better than Teofimo. When it comes to those weight classes, Shakur to me is the best. He is me. I tell him all the time, you ain't gotta prove nothing to them fucking casuals. Ain't never laced up, and you think Shakur gotta prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of a gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because you know the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is be mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
You gonna go crazy in that?
You're gonna be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard punches. He's so explosive, but so is Shakur. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges than Tank.
That's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about this potential fight in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more action-packed content.